Hey, it's me, GV, and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Let's Play Enderal Forgotten Stories. Man, we are not doing too great, huh? Our health is low. Really, really low. We need some HP, ASAP, and ideally, a bed to sleep on. Trying to do a lot of E-words. Isn't that quirky and fun? Just like that show, The New Girl, right? Actually been wondering about watching that show since I don't really have anything to watch lately. My girlfriend and I started Silicon Valley, but that's about it. Really do enjoy that show, though. We're on, like, episode 6. Anyways, welcome back to Let's Play Enderal Forgotten Stories, folks. This, so far, has been a magnificent game. Everything that we've done, for the most part, we've done some stuff that I haven't done before, has been things that I have experienced thus previously. So, again, my main goal here is to just kind of get to the point where I stopped, which, at this point in time, I don't know, 1 or 2 main quests more, maybe? It's hard for me to remember things. My memory is terrible. Regardless, let's take a look at our quest, shall we? Part of Something Momentous Part 1. The Shari used the taming ritual on me, which was supposed to lessen, and stabilize my arcane fever. Nonetheless, something weird happened, something which even Lashari cannot explain. Whoops. As others before her, she called me strange. At any rate, the solution to this problem has to wait. I should return to the Sun Temple to report Fire Spark first. Yeah, a lot of little, as you'll notice, a lot of little, grammatical errors and things, a lot of words left out, a lot of misspellings. I have yet to see a mod that has successfully, like, not have that at all. You know, here and there. I mean, even Skyrim, I believe, has some here and there, but, yeah, every single mod I've ever played has copious amounts of, like, spelling errors and things, which I'm sure if I made a mod, I would not be able to do any better, but I've just noticed that. Spell Tome Flash Heal Rank 1. Heals you by 25 points of health. Worsens your arcane fever by 5%. Boom. That's the only spell book that we have not learned just yet. And then we have a Scroll Teleport to Arc. We could use the Sun Temple too, but it doesn't really matter considering that we can just, you know, use the signpost wherever we want to go. So we're going to get the heck out of here and try to find a bed ASAP. Should be an option to turn off this animation. You know, it's quite lengthy. We're gonna have to see it every single time now, which is probably gonna get old. But we have a decent amount of scrolls to return to Arc left.
Words, O path-abiding people of this holy city. A miracle has happened. A miracle that must...
That's great, man. That is so great. Anyways, let's go to the Sun Temple and find that quarter, because the quarters, and then find the beds, because literally, if I fall...
Magister Karis has been looking for you.
Okay, hold on, folks. I know y'all want to give me some side quests, but hold on. I need to get a bed right now. Well met. Also to you. Yeah, like it's in Hearthstone. Yeah, and I'm emoting at you. Yeah, well met. Okay, so it was what? Upstairs and then in the hall, right?
At the end of the day, the sun...
There, what? Okay, there we go. Yes, excellent. All right, so, no, you're kidding, right? This is the same, is this not the same place that I was, oh boy, here we go again, folks. Yeah, it's just like the garlic I know from Let's 100% Oblivion. Oh, jeez, okay, is it just downstairs? How did I already forget this? Maybe it's through this hall? No, that goes back to the Sun Temple. Please, no. Please no. Okay, it's on the main floor. That's what it is. Makes sense. All right. No, what? We slept here, did we not? Come on, man. You're killing me. Like, literally, you are killing me. Oh, come on. All of these beds can't be owned, man. I swear to God, I was here previously, and these beds were not owned. I was able to actually sleep on them. Okay, well, let's hope since it's a mod that maybe one of these is not... Ah, okay. So yeah, I'm not sure if that either makes sense or doesn't make sense or was overlooked by the devs or what. I don't know why some of those beds are owned whilst others are not. Who knows? Regardless, we were able to fully heal.
Well met.
And also to you, well met. Well met. I like Garrosh Hellscream's well met the most. At least it's I forget if it's like if there's one Garrosh and then another Garrosh, and then he says like, greetings. That's my favorite one. Because he laughs, because he's a warrior. Like, why would he be greeting people? Doesn't make sense, but he still has to. Anyways. Alright, let's return to Constantine, who is right over here.
Now, if it isn't the prodigy, well...
Okay, so we can get a lot of backstory on this guy, but Lashari performed the ritual on me. There were problems in Old Roshengrad.
Yes, I know. She's already told me everything. Good work, even though part of her report seemed to be a bit enthusiastic. But I'll leave the judgment to Arantheal. He wants to talk to you anyway. Seems you've caught his interest.
Tell me again, who exactly is this Arantheal?
Didn't I tell you that already? He's the highly esteemed, holy Grandmaster of the Order. Tealor Arantheal, son of Lorius I, praised be his name. An old legend, risen from the dead or something like that.
Fine. Where can I find him?
In the Emporium, the last building on the left side of the temple. Just tell the guard that Arantheal has asked for you, and they will let you in. Ah yes, before I forget. My dame Lucy has left a token of gratitude for you. It's your choice. Do you want a book, an old map, or a bag of pennies?
Interesting. So book gives us 2 learning points. We already have quite a bit of learning points. Take the treasure map. That map looks good. And then 150 pennies. I'll go with the coin. Well, I think I'm going to go for the interesting one, even though, honestly, we could definitely use the money. That map looks good.
Very well. Now get a move on. I'm sure we'll talk again later.
Okay, so we got a treasure
Now,
map.
if it... The Prodigy. Well...
Wow, I guess he's a really powerful mage because he's able to sit kind of, you know, 2/3 off of the chair like that. That is neat. Okay, let's go ahead and read that treasure map, shall we? Which is where exactly? Over here? Yes, at the very bottom we have a treasure map. So, similar to Skyrim, it says Ark, Temple, and then X on a little river there. We should be able to see where that is, and I think I might have even found this when I streamed this on Twitch. So that should be right here. Oh, it said where the temple was, right? So I think like right here. Was there a break in these 2 little bodies of water? If so, then it's right about there. Let's look at it once more. No, I'm not seeing the break, but it's, yeah, we should be able to find it because there's a river that looks like a Y or something. Then what? Okay, then that wouldn't be the, whatever. Once we're outside of the temple, we should be able to find it. Let's take a look at our quest. See Grandmaster Arantheal in the Emporium. Constantine Firespark told me that I aroused the Grandmaster's interest, especially in regard of my abilities and my vision. I swear to God, it's not me. Like, some of these text boxes are not correct. He waits me in the Emporium, the meeting room of the Sun Temple. And that is exactly where we shall go. Oh, and one thing I didn't mention also is that I think this week I'm going to try to record 5 episodes of Enderal. One thing I haven't really talked about is that I really like Chugga Conroy, and he sort of has the channel set up that I'd really like to achieve someday. And I know I've been doing this for a while, and so is he. I mean, any Let's Player that doesn't really quit, they've all been doing it for a while. Because what you have is slow channel growth, really slow channel growth, but I don't know. There's so many benefits to having a Let's Play channel as well. It's kind of just your own thing. You don't ever have to feel pressured to do anything because you just do whatever you want. There's lots of benefits, but it also has really slow channel growth, just like he does. But there's long tail benefits as well because even if, you know, the views at the forefront of the channel don't really get that high, you're getting tons and tons of people. Like, go back and look how many people have watched my original Let's 100% Skyrim, the first episode. I think last I checked it was like 1.3 million. And that's a 30-minute Let's Play episode, man. That ain't nothing. So, my point is that I really like his channel. I really like how it's set up, and I'd really like to kind of mirror it and then, you know, do it in my own way as well. But he only does, as far as I can tell, one main series. I know I'm talking too long about this, but one main series, and then he does little side stuff here or there. I kind of want to try that out. So I think we're going to try to do, like, all 5 episodes of Enderal this week and see how people feel about it while we platform over here. Okay, ouch. Never mind, no falling damage. Anyways, let me know what you think is my point. Let me know what you think about having 5 episodes of Enderal a week, and then maybe potential for little bonus videos here and there with whatever I kind of want to cover. And then the sub-Saturdays. I'd like to hear your opinions. And at the end of the week, too, once this week is over.
You're a commander.
Nevertheless.
Doesn't care about feelings, but about facts. You have made this mistake before, Tealor. Back then in Kira. And we all know
the mission will happen. I'm sorry.
you have a visitor.
So, you are the prodigy everyone is talking about. Interesting. I am Tealor Arantheal, son of Lorius I and Grandmaster of the Order, and I'm honored to meet you. What is your name?
Aloc, you wanted to see me.
Yes, and I will come straight to the point. You are here because I believe that you are special. Humanity faces a threat that needs to be stopped, and to achieve this, you are indispensable.
Best voice actor in the game, by the way. Just listen to the dulcet tones of this man. He's excellent. I know I looked him up before and realized who this was, and I think he has done other games as well. You're talking about the Red Madness, aren't you?
Among other things, yes. I do not need to explain to you that the present situation on Vin is chaotic. The wars, the living dead, common people who are losing their minds, to name only the most obvious. What most people are not aware of is the connection between these events. You, however, have encountered it, as have I.
The visions. So you know where they come from.
I do. And I will explain everything to you. What it means, who we are, and what your part in all of this is. Come, follow me. Maybe you already know who I am. My entire life, I served the gods who ruled Vin, until their death 2 years ago. What you probably do not know is that the one responsible for their death is my son, Tealor Arantheal. He hated the Lightborn because he believed that they robbed mankind of their right to freedom, so he strived to overthrow them. He found followers, formed an army and declared war on them, and thus on me, a servant of the Lightborn as well. It all ended in a battle 30 years ago, which Tealor won. He killed every single survivor except for me, and locked me in a dungeon on Nehrim. I still do not know why he spared me.
If Tealor was your son, why did he hate the gods so much? Shouldn't he have been, I don't know, devoted to them?
There were circumstances favoring the development. But it's a long story, which we won't discuss now.
So the Lightborn are really dead. If you, the Order of the Gods, acknowledge that fact, why do people not know about it?
Good question. Because at the moment, stability is the highest good. Even more so considering what we are facing. The rulers of Kira and Kile both made the mistake to acknowledge the death of the gods to their people, and the civil wars that followed in their countries are evidence of the chaos that such a revelation entails. Enderal is the cradle of the Order of the Gods, the epitome of theocracy. It is unthinkable what would happen if we confirmed these rumors. I am sure you understand this. Maybe when all this is over that will change, but for now it is imperative that we deny all rumors of that kind.
But you managed to free yourself.
Yes. After more than 30 years, when the death of the gods made the magic around the prison disappear. And during my escape in the northern mountains of Nehrim, I also had them for the first time. The dreams.
You're just gonna walk away after telling me that, man? Can you expand? I really like this character quite a bit. I've had this conversation with him, I think, like 3 times now. I know what comes afterwards.
I always saw the same glaring, terrible light. Heard screaming, and I felt like I was burning up from the inside. And above all, like a veil, was the knowledge of imminence. At first, of course, I dismissed these dreams as the delusion of a man to death. So I concentrated on making it through the mountains somehow. 2 days after my escape, I was completely exhausted, and I would have died if a former acolyte of my son had not found me.
An acolyte of your son. But weren't they your enemies then?
Yes, but he did not recognize me, and brought me to their headquarters instead, an old monastery in the mountains. The others were aware of my identity, but for whatever reason they did not kill me. Maybe because they thought that the death of the Lightborn had made me insignificant. I do not know. Still, even after my recovery, the dreams continued. At first, I doubted my sanity, but after some time I told the leader of the mages, Constantine, about them. And he said something that I'd never expected. I was not alone. He, as well as many others magically gifted on Vin, dreamed the same dreams. And the more we talked about the matter, the stronger our suspicion grew, which has now turned out to be the truth. The dreams, they come from the same place. They are a shared memory.
A shared memory? You mean the dreams originate from a what? A common mind?
A collective subconscious, yes. I know that you can feel it too, and probably far more intense than we do. But like you back then, we were not able to make sense of the images. So we went looking for answers in the remains of the civilization that was before us, the Pyreans.
Thus the excavations, like in old Rashengrad. What did you find out?
3 things. First, there were many civilizations before us and before the Pyreans. Maybe hundreds, maybe thousands. Second, the history of each civilization unfolded and still unfolds according to a pattern. They emerge, they blossom, and at some point, at the apex of their existence, they simply disappear without any trace.
Mass Effect! Oh god!
Third, everything that has happened in the past years, and which is still happening, indicates that this disappearance lies ahead of us. We are part of an eternal loop, a cycle, and our cycle is approaching its end.
Now this is when I was truly hooked because, as I've said many times, I love cyclical stories, I love Mass Effect's overall story, and I love just, I don't know, it's very similar, at least how they set it up. I don't know where it goes, but very similar how they set it up to Mass Effect's story. Okay, we've got a more option here, which, from a programming standpoint, they have to, like, play a little sound before, you know, a silent sound before I can go to the next section here. A pattern. You mean that the chronicles of each civilization are identical?
Not identical, but one can split them up into episodes which repeat themselves in the very same manner, into patterns.
So this is your explanation for the Red Madness, the wars?
Yes, dramatically put, they're the envoys of the end.
Interesting. So everything's tied together, and it signifies the end of this civilization now that it's blossomed. You mean that the end of humanity lies ahead?
Yes, it does. At first we considered it absurd, as probably you do at this moment.
Not really.
But there came a moment when we simply could not deny it anymore. We began to study the history of the Pyreans more intensely, and the parallels were extraordinary. In its early days, the Pyrean Empire was split up by a disaster, just like Vin was split up by the Starfall after the reign of the Eterna. Also, the Pyreans had a ruling caste who declared themselves gods after the catastrophe. The 2 castes of the Sun Priest. They too ruled until they were overthrown. This overthrowing was followed by an outbreak of wars and chaos. And then, just like that, the Pyreans ceased to exist. They knew it was imminent, but they could not prevent it. They called this event the Cleansing.
How in blazes can an entire civilization just disappear?
That is the question we need to find an answer to. The end was not violent, at least not in a sense as we know it. There was no natural disaster, no magical explosion, no plague. Even though there was war in the Pyrean Empire before its ruin, when the cleansing happened, it was as if all living beings simply fell down and died. It is ghastly.
The Pyreans knew about the threat. Why didn't they try to do something about it?
They tried, but they failed. Who knows why? Maybe they found out too late, or maybe they were too weak.
And where do I come in? Where do these visions and my powers come from?
Well, This is the reason why we need your help. Not only episodes of history recur within every cycle, characters do as well.
Characters recur.
Yes, the Pyreans call them the emissaries. They emerge very shortly before the cleansing occurs, like a law of nature, an answer to the Red Madness. And I am one of them, as are you. While I take on the role of the ruler, you take on the role of the prophet.
Can't stress enough how interested and hooked this whole line of dialogue got me to the story. So cool. I absolutely love just the premise of this, especially like the characters reoccurring. I'm supposed to be a prophet.
It's just a description. Call it what you will. But without doubt, it is the truth. Your story matches the descriptions perfectly.
If I play a role, does that mean that something is controlling me? Controlling us?
No. As I already said, the emissaries simply appear at the beginning of the end, like pieces on a chessboard. We are determined by our skills. How and to what end we use them is our choice.
And why me of all people?
I do not know. Firespark the Mage has told me your story. And even though your fate is tragic, unlike me, you were insignificant before your change. So maybe everyone can become an emissary, or we simply have not understood the pattern yet.
My fate is tragic, unlike you. And I take it that this is the reason Nehrimese mages are here, isn't it? Firespark, Pegast, Skyrim?
Yes. Former enemies or not, both sides have understood the magnitude of the threat. The magical knowledge of Narazul's former mages is vast, as is the power of the Holy Order. Even though not all of the Keepers agree, as you probably have already noted yourself.
Okay, so that explains why, yeah, the former enemies are all aligned now. And what defines this prophet?
On the one hand, your power. You carry the potential to master any skill within a fraction of the usual time needed. I assume you have already realized this. On the other hand, your ability to look into the past, and therefore into the future.
Into the past and therefore into the future? What do you mean?
Your visions are a window into the past. And as every cycle is based on the same events, it is a window into the future as well. You can feel the thread this world is woven with. And because of that, you can see things that have happened, and thus will happen again. This gift makes you indispensable to us, and it is why I want your help.
Why do you think that we can overcome this cycle in the first place, after hundreds of civilizations have failed?
That is the wrong question. The correct question is, what alternative do we have? To wait and die?
I mean, not really, because, like, what are we going to be able to do that's different from the others? But, okay. Alright, if I can help, I will try to do so.
Good. However, there's one more thing before the actual work begins. I want you to join our order, and to do so, you have to pass a test. A trial.
Join your order? Is this really necessary?
It is. Whatever you think about our story, we are the only faction that is strong enough to oppose the cycle. If you want to be part of our mission, you need to have access to our knowledge and resources. There will be voices in the Order speaking against your admission, as they are speaking against the presence of the Nehrimese mages. Consider it an honor or a necessity. It is up to you.
What kind of test?
It is the trial the novices have to pass in order to be exalted to the role of a keeper. Only the best students of the Squalor are allowed admission, and even though you have not been a novice, I want you to take it too. At this very moment, 2 novices are on their way to the testing grounds. I have informed them about your arrival.
You've already informed them. How could you know that I'd agree?
I had a hunch. Let us leave it at that.
So he probably saw it in the future, like he said, you know, glimpses into the past can reveal the future. Who are the two novices?
I have only a slight acquaintance with them. However, I know that they are both very talented and have been working hard toward the test. But see them for yourself.
Very well. Where can I find them?
At the border to the Heartland, near the Whisper Wood. They will be waiting for you there. Take the Myret, talk to Signet Master Bartar, and hand him this package. And then follow his orders. Oh, one more thing. It might be self-evident, but keep your knowledge about the death of the Lightborn to yourself. I do not believe you can do any real harm, but in the worst case, path-abiding people will consider you a heretic. After the cycle has been stopped, we will deliberate upon how we deal with the matter. If and how we tell our people about it. But not now, that is for sure. No, leave. The sooner we can dispense with this formality, the better.
Okay, well, there's our big giant lore dump of the series, folks. I'm wondering how many people completely checked out during that, but I gotta say, like, honestly, this seriously is one of the more interesting stories out of any game, not just a mod, not just a Skyrim type of game, or any RPG. Really, really, really interests me. And again, I think we only have 1 or 2. I know for a fact we've done the next quest, but after that, we might be caught up. So I really don't know too much about where this goes, but at least how they set it up, it is extremely interesting to me, and I really want to see where the game goes. And I don't know how long the main story is. By the way, can't we travel to the Myrad Tower? Yes. I don't really know how long the main story is. Clearly, as we've seen, I mean, it's set up to be just a Skyrim type of game, with, you know, with that much content in it, or at least seemingly so. I'm not sure exactly how much. Where is the Myrad Tower? So I don't know. I'm really curious to see this one all the way through and see what twists and turns this story has for us. We have a little bit of time left. I know that this entire episode was pretty much lore and dialogue, but I hope that at least part of you that are watching this are as intrigued as I was when I first had that conversation with Arantheal. Okay, so meet Signet leader Jorek Bartar and the two novices at the Heartland's border. He said to take the Myrad.
Good evening.
We already did this one, did we not? Could you tell me something about these creatures, Myrads?
About Myrads? What is there to tell? They're beautiful. In the time before the Blood Moon Revolt, a long time ago, tame Myrads like this... Nowadays, well, you can... Oh, well, and through those clicking sounds, I also... Sure, where to?
Yeah, we already did that one, even though it seemed like we didn't. Okay, so we needed to go to the... just the Heartland, right? Western Wall, Riverville, border of the Heartland? Oh, was it the border? I feel like it was the border, wasn't it? Western Cliff, Northern Heartland, Farmer's Coast. Okay, well, let's go to the border of the Heartland. I think that's what it is. We can always travel again. Although 25 coins for not having pretty much any coins is a little rough. We really need to watch our money, especially because we took the treasure map, which we will use any excuse to go over to if we are anywhere near it. It was a little northeast of the temple, it seemed like. Okay, so let's see. Are we where we want to be? It looks like it, yeah, because our objective is right over there. Now, where are we on the map? I'd really like to get a hang of, you know, learning where to go. So, yeah, our treasure map location is... In fact, can we spot it right now? There was like a Y, but... I mean, this is the Y, I suppose, right here, which would mean that the treasure's like somewhere here or here. But we are all the way over here, and our destination lies directly in front of us. This next quest is very, very, very interesting and cool. In fact, the next two things are very interesting and cool. And like I said, I think, if I remember right, I know I finished this next quest on Twitch, but then the quest after that, I think I started it, and I never finished it. So I'm really hoping that we will be able to catch up to where I left off in the next couple of episodes. Anyways, like I said, I am going to be recording 5 episodes of Enderal for this week, holding off on a new series for Tuesdays and Thursdays. So let me know what you think about that, if it's too much or if you're really excited for it. I'd really like to know in the comment section below. And thank you so much for watching and supporting me and this channel in any way. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.